Hey, it's Damien, Baden, your local real estate agent in Northeast Ohio, and today I wanted to discuss 5 upfront closing costs that you should expect when you're buying a home. So, what would those 5 costs be? If you think you know, comment below. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you. First off, you got to think about earnest money. Earnest money is something that you're going to put down typically right away or within 72 hours of accepting of a contract. And that is going to be something that's going to range anywhere from probably $1,000 on the low end up to about 3% of the sales price. So, my personal opinion is if you want to make your offer stronger, you can put more down as earnest money. But in most situations, $1,000 or $2,000, at least in our area, is something common. So that's the first thing to think about. Next, what you're going to be expecting is after that offer is accepted, you're going to have to get a home inspection typically within the first couple days after the offer's been signed. So when you have a home inspection done, that is going to range anywhere from, $400 in most cases. If you do radon, that might be somewhere in the $500 range. And then if you have a really large home, that price could go up. But point is, a home inspection is something you're typically going to pay at the time of the home inspection to the home inspector itself. So that's another fee that you should be expecting to pay when buying a home. Another thing that you're going to pay is going to go to the lender, and this is their way to collect money up front to make sure that they're being compensated or getting, if you want to call it, their earnest money coming in. And that's going to be for their appraisal fee. So when a bank is going to loan you money, they want to verify that the money that they're loaning you is actually for the right amount of value. So an appraiser is going to come out typically 2 to 3 weeks after the agreement has been signed, the home inspection's done, and contingencies are waived. It's in pending status. Now that appraiser is going to come out and make sure that the home is actually worth the contract price. And as long as it's worth the contract price, if you're putting down 5, 10, 20% or more down, your down payment doesn't change. However, if your down payment, if the appraisal comes in for less value, whatever you were putting down originally plus the additional is going to be something expected by you, unless the seller themselves, which is what normally would happen, is going to decrease their price or you're going to cancel the deal altogether. But that appraisal that you're going to put out there, the money to the lender, that's going to be something that's typically about $300 to $400. So once again, 1,000 to 3% for earnest money. 4, 5 something, in terms of home inspection is something you should consider. And then the appraisal fee of, roughly $300 or $400. So you're probably thinking, what else do I have to pay for before we actually even close on this home? And that's a great question. So the next thing that you're going to be looking at doing is getting homeowners insurance. So a lot of times you have to have homeowners insurance set up before you go to the closing table, and you have to show documentation of that. So you're typically going to pay 1 year up front. So depending on the type of home you're buying, that could be maybe $500 to $1,500 or more, depending on the type of home that you're buying. But, if it's a $400,000 house, I would probably guess somewhere around $1,000 or more is what you're going to be paying for homeowners insurance. So 1 year up front, and then it'll be, if you do your PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, the payments for the following year will be already calculated in your payments, so it's not like you have to worry about paying that again. And then the final thing is your actual down payment. This is something that you're going to send typically to a title company before you go to close, so they have your funds and everything's good to go there. But that's another thing that you're going to be paying for when buying a home. And typically the bank's going to want to know that you have that money sitting in an account. So even if you're not giving it till right before closing, it's money that you have to have, and the bank's going to want to know that. So hopefully you found this helpful. These are 5 things that you should expect to pay for and have money for buying a home. Obviously, you're going to have closing costs, and there's going to be other fees and stuff like that. But hopefully you found some value in this video. If you did, feel free to, give me a like. Let me know that you like my content. If you have questions or comments, feel free to comment below. And then the other big important thing is just make sure, if you'd like to receive more information like this, I talk about buying homes, selling homes, and building new construction. Feel free to follow this page and turn on notifications so you are made aware of these as they come out. Once again, thank you. I hope I'm making you a smarter buyer and seller when it comes to residential real estate.